So we just came from a show in Indiana, and we are going to set up our new Geckos tank. And you're going to join me. So it is always good to clean and sanitize everything you get from a show. So we'll just do a quick scrub down. And this is just simple Dawn soap. So on the box, it says that this tank is an 18 by 18 by 18. But for me, I feel like it's a little bit bigger than the 18. Could be the 24. But this is a pretty decent size tank for one gecko. And specifically, we have a crested gecko. Not sure of the gender of it just yet, but she is a spotted Dalmatian. Not sure of the complete morph of her. I am also going to wash styrofoam a little bit. also making pizza.
What's going on Sorry, Dad. Mommy, what are you doing?
Trying to clean and make the new Geckos tank.
Are you geckos and 2 geckos?
Yeah, now we got 2 geckos.
How do I want the 2 geckos?
So since this is a brand new channel that I'm going to be starting, it's going to be all about reptiles,
One pizza!
setting them up,
Silent!
you know, the care of them. They're great family pets.
Whoa, pizza is ready. We have to eat.
While also struggling on taking out a pizza. Thank you.
Yummy pizza, and we have to eat.
Now, most people do bioactive. I do not like it.
Smell it.
Most people do bioactive. I don't like bioactive. So, I have to go and get the supplies. So some people do bioactive, which basically is soil. You do, you know, the bugs, which I believe they said were like isopods and everything else that should help when they poop or do anything, and it keeps your dirt and bedding all clean to help and basically keep rotating everything and less cleaning. The downside, for me anyway, unless I just wasn't able to do it right, were the gnats, the little bugs that just annoyed me and were everywhere, including when I went to clean and dump the bioactive tank. Because as I had mentioned and my son had mentioned, we have 2 geckos now. So our first gecko, we attempted the bioactive tank, and you know, we probably only lasted 2 weeks before it drove me crazy with the little gnats flying around and all over my apartment. Now, when we went and cleaned out the tank and dumped everything, the gnats were insane in that tank. So we stopped doing bioactive. We now just do the soil, and I'll show you the moss that I will cover the top of this dirt with. Once I know that there's enough dirt here. My first gecko loves to set up with the dirt, and this moss I simply buy at a pet store, and it only comes, speaking of little gnats, but I buy these little packs at the pet store. Some people have talked about how they have found big bags of this moss, and I can't seem to get lucky with that. And the Ziploc broke, but that's okay. I'll just get a new one. Probably won't even need it anyway. And it's not that expensive, especially at the pet store, because I just don't have luck finding these big bags of the moss, so I just do this little pack. Now, it was in the Ziploc because we had already opened it and used it when we cleaned our other Geckos tank and decorated him. I might have to get out. I might have to get our other pack of moss to finish covering this floor. So this moss is just dry, and you just break it apart. Just get the other bag. Everything's kind of a mess right now as we're trying to organize all our reptiles, which you guys will see in another video that I will talk about and introduce them. Oops. Dogs will have fun with that. We also have 3 dogs, by the way, and 2 of them are at my feet. Okay. So I like to just make sure I cover the whole top, because besides the dirt, this will help, one, keep the gecko clean, because then it's not all in the dirt, but then 2, it helps hold moisture and humidity when you have the moss. And when it's wet, it's almost like another bed of comfort for them. And I have all the decorations. These shows have loads of things, which is ridiculous, but I find amazing places. So I buy a lot of stuff in bulk at these shows. So we have this plant, which we'll clean off. We have this plant. Found a little orchid. And I've always wanted one of these little coconut hides, which hopefully she will enjoy. And then we'll just clean off these wood pieces. And the cork I'll just rinse off with some hot water and take off the tag. Just so that way nothing gets on the floor. Okay. That one was very simple and easy. Okay. Get the hot water going. I'll start opening these plants. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Clean them with the dish soap and then rinse them off and hang them up. Now I do have a few other things. And there goes all the suction cups for this. Okay. I'll still love that. Okay. And now we'll put that there. Alright, so I'm just going to rinse off the cork with some hot water. Some people even talk about you can bake or boil, especially if you're going to get anything. I'll put it back here so it gives her a little corner. Perfect. We'll do the same thing with the wood piece. We'll just rinse it with the hot water. But some people, you know, like these booths and sellers at the shows, they will mostly find these pieces of wood or corks, you know, on the ground, trees, you know, and basically make them themselves, sanitize them, get them set and ready for reptiles. I don't know how to do all of that. That's something that'd be fun to research because it definitely would save money the more you want to buy items. Just do a quick wash over on these leaves. So it's definitely a process if you bring anything from outside to any of your reptiles, whether it's the geckos or snakes. You want to be careful that there's no, you know, bugs on them that can harm, you know, your reptile, bringing them into the home. You need to make sure whether, you know, any pesticides were sprayed and if any of the items were, you know, in the pesticide and sprayed with them, because that is very harmful to your reptiles. But if you are setting up any of your wood or items, if you're doing it yourself, you want to, you know, boil them or bake them. Make sure, you know, you kill off anything that could possibly be on it. I just get very nervous doing it because I don't know if anything gets sprayed around here with pesticides, so it makes me nervous trying to bring anything from outside in. Put some of these suction cups on here. Definitely use 2. It's a big plant. The suction cups. Now it's not going to stick to styrofoam, but you can stick it to your glass. The one fell off. Now everybody does something different for their tanks, for their pets. They will say something different. So, you know, you can take all my advice with a grain of salt. But everyone's different. I just go by what's been working for me and what's been great for me. My pets have been comfortable and happy, so that's the only reason why I'm only saying what I do, because it's worked for me. May not be the same for the next person. Or your next reptile you get. They can be completely different, picky, and not like absolutely anything you're doing for them. Which is unfortunately with one of my snakes. But we will talk about all my snakes another time in another video, because I also need to build a new enclosure for one of my girls. Just trying to fluff the flowers here a little bit. Even though she'll probably mess them up as she goes through. Oh no. And what always happens to me is that one of the flowers have fallen off. And I don't even know where. Found it. This is another thing that can happen with these icicle plants. They can be very delicate, and you can lose the pieces, but then hopefully you might be able to just stick them back. Okay. I think that's good there. Stick the wood there. See how that goes. Actually goes on it. I'll have to buy her a little more climbing. Unless I just take one of my bamboos from my other gecko, because he has a ton. Awesome. And I can at least steal one from him. No. So we are almost done here. And then I shall do the reveal of our newfound little gecko. Just do a quick gentle wipe of these leaves. Spray on, it's just so much more easier. Covers more area to rinse it off. Say she has a ton of coverage. Should be happy until I can change it up a little bit more for her. Let's see. Now we just have the coconut hide. Can't really get in there. But I can at least do some maybe hot water. And just give it a little rinse. Only thing is I thought this was like my other tanks, and it's not. So let's see how I can do this, or if I can't even do this. Here. Don't think I can do it. I may just have to break some of the screen. So I'll have to figure that out. Now, I'll talk more about this gallon sprayer.
Ow.
When I work on the snakes, but I will do a little explanation. I had gotten this off of another YouTuber's cart. They had a list of like the links of everything that they used, and I thought it was great over the use of the sprayer. And when you have many reptiles that you gotta be spraying and taking care of, definitely having a sprayer helps a whole lot in eliminating time when it comes to, you know, spraying their tanks, wetting the substrate so you can get their humidity up. Now with my geckos, I've learned many different things where some people say you need light, some people say you don't need light, but you want to make sure that they are that their temperature, if I am not mistaken, is no more than 75, but in the 70s. And you do not want their humidity to go more than, it was either 70 or 80. I'd have to look back at my notes to confirm it, because I am not 100% sure. Don't remember off the top of my head. But I am just gonna wet all her moss. move everything around, wet everything. As it soaks down to the soil, it'll hold. I'm probably gonna just also do a cup of water so that way I can soak down to the soil. But we will do that in a second. No, just wet her tank. Only since it's new, I kind of want to start on the humidity and getting it together and ready. Since it's a whole new setup. Now, one of my cups. We'll just pour some around just to kind of soak into the soil. Okay, I will work on her little coconut hide, and we will work on the food. Well, I'm improvising using bottle caps. I didn't find any bowls, so we'll just improvise, clean, sit in hot water, these bottle caps, and then I'll clean them, and then we'll do a little one for food, and we'll use these big ones for water. Place them around her tank. Everyone says different, whether you put it in the freezer, don't have to put it in the freezer. I was told the last time in the freezer. My gecko loves it, it's been fine, but they mostly eat these little powder bags. And we have another bag that says with insects, because crested geckos may or may not hunt insects if you buy them crickets. So they do have a substitute powder with insects. I will clean this off. Let me at least introduce you to the new little gecko. At least introduce you here to the newfound little buddy. As you can tell, they love to hide. She is very, very, very tiny. But they love to jump. They are jumpers. So this is a beautiful little new spotted Dalmatian gecko. You gonna jump one more time for everyone? Just gonna plop. Yeah, she's just gonna walk down, and she's licking me. Seems like she might be thirsty. I did have water on my hands, so we will get her set up so she can drink, eat, and do all the little fun gecko things. But this is a little juvenile, so it's not an adult or anything. She's just a little juvenile, not that much older. Where you going? Let's just put her into her new little home. Let her explore it. You want to go in your little hut? Right there. Okay. Just jump on a plant, whatever you want. You want to go on a plant? No, no, no. We're gonna You gotta stick on a plant. Yeah. Little jumpers. There you go. That will be her little home. I will clean this off. I will work on her little coconut hide. Try and figure out how to keep it sturdy. And basically, I will get more stuff to add to her so she has layers. I'll see if the bamboo stick in my other gecko's hide tank is big enough and will reach wall to wall so she can have another layer of climbing. But as of right now, that's pretty much everything until I get more decorations. At least she has some places to hide. She has a climbing spot. She'll climb all over this wall and tank. And then I will get her set up on everything. But that's our little girl for now. And eventually I will introduce our other gecko. And don't eat that. I'll introduce our other gecko on top of all my snakes. So it's gonna be a whole adventure. I am just starting out this channel because eventually we are also gonna talk about breeding. So I'm gonna cover everything, or maybe even do a second channel for just breeding. But we shall see as we progress and continue this adventure with all of the new little babies here. And as of right now, still figuring out a name. Maybe I'll just use my business name, which was going to be J-Town Scales and Tails. So I will probably just use that for the YouTube as well. And one of the nuisances, we will just say bye.